So you only have $1,000 that you want to invest into NFT gaming projects. GameFi that has the opportunity to potentially do some X's in the next couple of months. If you take a look at coins like Bitcoin and BNB, the reality is that they're not going to do more than 2X within the next couple of months. I mean, I say that and then Bitcoin might go flying up, but you're going to see much bigger gains much quicker if you pick the right GameFi projects. So today we're going to go into 5 projects that I'm personally going to invest $200 into each. And you can, do this with whatever budget you've got. So if you've got $100, you can put in $20 on each project. But I'm going to pick 5 projects that I think are at good prices because we are in a dip. And I think this February we're going to see some improvement in the markets in general. And if we see that, hopefully some of these projects will start to see that $1,000 increase in value, maybe even get us to $2,000 in the next couple of months. If you want to keep up to date with projects like this, opportunities in GameFi, we get a lot of marketing reaching out to us before they do drives and before token prices tend to go up because more people are aware of a great project. Then make sure you hit subscribe and we'll do our best to keep you informed of all that in the future. Okay, let's get into today's episode. First up, number 1 token we're looking at is MetaGear. Now, I already hold some MetaGear in this account, very little. We hold most of ours in the channel's wallet, and it's currently priced around $14,000 worth of MetaGear. We are still holding. We could have sold here, but we didn't. These buys are just in my personal wallet that I use to buy NFTs, and yes, I'm holding some NFTs. But this was the example of where we picked this up very, very early. We are part of the private sale, hence we hold such a big allocation. When we launched a video on this first out for you guys, it was around 9 cents, and that is now currently at 53 cents. So this is a great example of, hopefully some of these projects that we pick out will do is very big X's within a short amount of time. Now, they're not guaranteed to. Some of these might dip, but with that risk comes a lot greater reward. So MetaGear, if you haven't heard of it, is a great looking project. It just looks like a great fun factor mobile game that is already in alpha and has, smashed it. The quality of it looks great. Their internal beta test looks even better. It's so much better in terms of it's got loads of add-ons that you don't get in the alpha. And personally, having played this, it just runs so smooth. There was no bugs during the alpha. I don't think they need to change anything. They just need to bring it into beta now, and hopefully everything functions all right with its integration to the blockchain. And hopefully we'll see that this comes out very, very soon. The reason why I'm picking this as a good one to invest in still, even after it's done a 5x, is I think because of its quick progression in its roadmap and how far along it is, I think this is going to be something that we still see a further boost. It's better time to buy in because, if you bought in early this morning, you could have gotten in for 46 cents, but it's done a bit of an X today after the markets had a little bit of a dip the past couple of days and has already reached an all-time high of 77 cents. So it's still got the room, I think, in it to do a 2x and get to that $1, and maybe when the game is launched actually go beyond that. I peg this as the next bomb crypto. If you haven't heard of bomb crypto, then you haven't been in the space very long, because bomb crypto was probably one of the most successful projects on the Binance Smart Chain in the past couple of months in terms of doing huge X's from 40 cents all the way up to 8.73, which is roughly what to $4 would be 10x, almost a 20x. So has done huge X's. So the first $200 will go into, on top of what we already hold, USDC instead of that, will be going into here. Now all the tokens will be down below, so you can just easily access them. I'll put all the token addresses. If you don't use PooCoin, I recommend using it. It's just probably the best place to find out charts and also track your coins and how well they're doing. So pick 200 there, we'll get you 374 gear if you pick it up, and it's still at the same price. And that is the first investment, first project. The next project is Project Quantum. This is pegged to be a AAA gaming first-person shooter built on the Unreal Engine. currently in development with early prototypes looking really good. They have shown footage of the alpha, which we'll look at in a minute, and it looks great. You can collect NFT equipment, hunt or be hunted, trade with other players. So these NFTs will potentially hold value as well as the token. And this token is available now, has been available for a long time, all the way back in May. This was first released. Now, if you were to pick this up around then, so let's say if you went all the way back to May the 21st and you pick this coin up, you could get it at 0.00002 cents per token, and currently it's resting at 0.0013. So it's already 6x'd from the position it was at that, which some of these tokens are all about a holding game. If you hold them long enough and the project's strong enough, then you're going to see some gains. But that's just a 6x, but where it's actually been is much bigger. So it actually got to what would have been a 30x at one point from that position. So this is a project that I massively believe is going to be something to look out for and going to do well because of the alpha footage that they showed out. So this is pre-alpha, and it just looks crisp. It looks like what you would get in terms of standard of games currently. And on the in the blockchain space, we don't have a first-person shooter out that is playable, functional to a good standard, some good mechanics in terms of being able to hop and climb on your environment around you. Looks, you got a good user interface. Environment is generating very well around you. You know, I think that's a good test of it, that even in pre-alpha, it's looking very crisp. And I can't wait to get into this game and just actually having a first-person shooter. I think it's going to be massively desirable for people who are familiar with projects like this in terms of non-NFT gaming space, and it'll really bring some of the skilled players into the NFT game space, because if you could actually earn tokens, earn NFTs for killing people in COD, like, it would be so successful. So that is definitely the second project that I am pegging to do well in the next couple of months, and it is in a good healthy dip to be able to pick up from where it's been. So the next 200 goes into Qubit. For that, we're getting 1.45 million tokens. The next project I am pegging to do well is Mytheria. I think this token is at a very good price at the moment. It has come down from $3.30 all the way down to 30 cents. And so it's already lost 90% of what it was at. And you're thinking, well, why am I backing a coin when it's bad? Backing coins that have potential when they're at the worst, that's the best time to buy it. I'm going to show you an example of when I last did that in the last dip. So when we had the market crashing around July time, I took advantage of this and it caused my portfolio just to increase so much. So this is a card turn-based game with gods as the main kind of characters within the game. It has a create to earn aspect, so people can actually create cards, and the market, the holders can actually determine whether they want them to go through and be created into cards. So I think this is a beautiful project, and alpha launch has already happened, went well. So, you know, we're moving around into beta, and I think full launch will see this token price start to increase. So if we take a look at Myra and how it's performing, as I mentioned, it's come down to, it was 34 cents at the moment, but it was seeing heights of $3.40 there. $3.50 at one point. At the high, it spiked at $5.41, and it's come down massively. And if we think about a comparison, so Revemon's a good example of a game where I last bought the dip. So Revemon currently at 40 cents, but so we had the markets were doing really well, and then the markets crashed around July time, and with that, a lot of GameFi tokens lost a lot of value. So this came down and was around 26 and then hovered around here. So around here at 28 cents, I picked this up. Move out of the way. So you can see I picked up 500 to 2,000 tokens. And then up here, we can see I actually didn't sell at the right point. I thought it was the heights here, but it was still from buying at 30 cents, it's still 3x'd, and I sold my position there, making a good 1,709. That was, you know, from a $500 purchase. You'd gone from 3 points to 3.4x of my purchase price for these tokens. So these are the type of investments that I'm looking for in this video today, trying to find ones that I think in the future will do well. If I'd have held that, then it went all the way up to $2. So I could have seen twice that amount at 3,400. Holding, I think, and buying, I find easier. Selling at the right point, that's the hard one, because how far does a project go? Sometimes it's healthy to take profits. Sometimes you might miss out on an absolute boom. But from here, it did actually go down. Again, I could have bought back here and then sold at the top here. But that's, you know, in hindsight, it's so much easier. But that is what we're aiming for in some of the videos today. So that's why the third project that I'm picking up some tokens for is going to be for Myra. 200 in there, and for that we'll get 579 Myra. The next project is not one game, but a metaverse of games. This is Froyo token from Froyo Games, and the reason why I like the look of this one is because if you're buying a token that is going to be built on the blockchain that will have multiple games, it doesn't rest on the success of that game or failure. It does mean that you could have just one of those games hit really well and people will be incentivized to purchase the coin. They're going to have a variety of different genres. We see Moonland here, where you're building on the moon, flying around. And then we have Metal Genesis, which looks cool as hell. Having such a variety of games means there's going to be a variety of different NFTs that you're probably going to need to buy to be able to play these games. And what you're going to use to purchase the NFTs, very likely it's going to be the Froyo token, which will incentivize people to purchase the token to be able to buy the NFTs, which means the price goes up. So holding now could be very, very fruitful. We have Animoca Brands, one of the biggest VCs out there, a strategic investor that has backed some really successful games in the DeFi space at the moment. So I think this is a project well worth $200, and long term I think this isn't just a project that's going to come and go, and that's kind of what you're looking for in your safer investments. So I already hold some of this token, but let's buy some more. Why not? When I bought this, I picked this up at $1,000 and it's already at $1,361 dollars, which means I've already made $300 profit off this so far. And yeah, I think it's sitting very low. As the markets pick up, as people become more aware of the project, then I think it's going to do better. They have reached out to me before. We have done sponsored content on them on a Hot Projects video before. So it shows they're willing to do marketing to be able to get more people aware of the projects. So it shows their willingness to be able to get people more aware of their project, which means more people are likely to buy it, more holders, means good stability of the token and more likely to make gains in the future. I generally don't invest my money into projects, you know, when they've been out for a while. When you've got play to earn and your economy doesn't look stable to me, in that, you know, you're going to be paying out more rewards than people are going to be buying the token, then it's not going to go up. The price is not going to go up realistically. And maybe in those early days like Bomb Crypto did. But I just don't think you've got to have a stable economy. So I tend to invest in projects before they've developed. My whole kind of philosophy for finding good finds is to see value in a project before other people do. And then the fifth choice, because I'm spoiled for choice and there's so many different genres coming out, let's make this a viewer's choice. Like, post down below option 1, 2, 3 of 4 of these games. So number 1, let's have Mouse Haunt token. Mouse Haunt is a game that looks a lot of fun. You will basically take the role of a team of mice and you are trying to get the treasure whilst you're playing against your opponents who play the ghosts, and the ghosts will be trying to stop you. They will be able to use traps, they will be able to throw equipment at you and deal damage to you, and surviving at the end gets you to the treasure, and there you will be able to earn rewards. Because of the fact that this looks actually something very different on the blockchain space, I do think it could be a token that does does better than it's already currently at. It's currently at 93 cents and has been up higher, around 250. But this is just an example of the 4-player gameplay. And so we see the poltergeists are throwing stuff at them. We see traps there, which can deal damage to you, but you can use your abilities and your dodge and your weapons to shoot the equipment. And as a team, you're working to get all the way to the end and solve this little dungeon. So here we see the roller of the poltergeist throwing the axe, and the blade kills somebody. Yeah, I feel like this is a game that will attract a lot of people just because of the gameplay looking so good, and has already done that. Has already attracted a fair amount of people for its token price, and is currently sitting at 93 cents. As I mentioned, it has been higher, around 260, up at $3 potentially. And I think as the game gets further in development, we will start to see that price go up. The second one, so that's choice number 1. Choice number 2 is going to be Battle of Guardians. Battle of Guardians is going to be a PvP fighting game, and it's going to be multi-chain, so blockchain and Solana. I think it looks great from just some of the footage that we've seen so far. It looks to be the most advanced fighting game that we've seen on the blockchain game. I don't think it needs to be that great in terms of graphics. I think as long as you've got the mechanics right, this will work really well. And it's currently sitting at a very, very good price. So this launched at 2 cents for private sale, 3 cents for IDO. And so as you can see, it's doing very poorly. But with that, again, if you see the potential in that, that could be one to invest in. So we've got 1 is Mouse Hunt, number 2 is Battle of Guardians, and then let's make number 3 League of Ancients. If you take a look at the demo, you can see it's largely inspired by popular games in the MOBA department, and just graphics wise, it looks really good. The characters that you can buy currently as NFTs look really good as well. The token has suffered pretty heavily over the past couple of weeks, and that presents an opportunity. Again, it's in a big dip. I knew that this would dip heavily following its launch because it's got such a long period until we're actually going to get the game. So this is a really long-term hold, but I think it's a fairly good one if you get it in now where people are losing faith. You know, people want to buy a token and the project to come out in the next couple of months. This isn't going to be one of those projects because it is going to be created to a really good standard. And if you're willing to hold that long length of time, currently listed on KuCoin, then this could be the token for you. This might be the one that you would place your bets on. As you can see, you know, the milestones, they've currently been making them well. But it's Q3 of 2022. That's when beta game launch is going to be coming. So that's where you're going to see that dip in people's willingness to hold this, because people are going to find more short-term holds that may be a little bit more risky but offer quicker rewards. So that is going to be our number 3. Okay, so it's number 1 if you think Mouse Hunt, number 2 if you think Battle of Guardians, and number 3 if you think League of Ancients is the best place to put that final $200. Okay, well that's all for this one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and if you found it helpful, please leave a like on the video. It always helps the channel out. Hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all from me. See you guys soon.